guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a little reading vlog. I don't know, I was just thinking that I really enjoyed filming like what I read in a week, like a few weeks ago, and I thought I would just like take you along for a few days of me reading, maybe a week, I don't really know. It's currently Wednesday, so it's kind of in the middle of the week, but I just want to talk about what I'm reading, take you along, because I feel like in my vlogs I don't really go in depth of what I'm reading unless it's like a dedicated reading vlog. So I did a recent vlog and I said what I was reading, but I didn't like really go in depth. So I thought I would do that in this video and just do like a weekly reading vlog, read with me for a few days, that kind of thing. So I'm currently reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is in the Throne of Glass series. I don't know which one it is. The 5th book. It's the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. There's 8. Yeah, so I have 3 left. I don't know what was going on there. And I'm pretty far into this. I'm on page 401 and I really want to finish this today. That is the goal. I really want to finish this today because I am really enjoying it and I want to know what happens, and I really also want to get to the tandem read. As you get through the series, the books get longer and longer, so this one's like over 600 pages. It's very long, but I feel like I've been going through it pretty quickly. I've been really enjoying this one. I thought I would kind of share my thoughts on Throne of Glass so far because I talked about it a little in my Instagram story, and no, I guess that's all. I talked a little bit about it in my recent vlog, like I said, what I was reading, but I thought I would share kind of like my favorites in the series so far, what I'm thinking, that kind of thing. So I decided to read The Assassin's Blade first. You can really read it at multiple different points in the series. Like you can read it second, third, fourth, first. I read it first, and I'm really glad that I did that because I feel like it made it like really enjoyable because it was like the prequel. If you don't know, The Assassin's Blade is the prequel to Throne of Glass. So you're getting the background of the main character. So basically Throne of Glass is about the female main character who is an assassin, and she's basically put in this kind of like competition to become the king's assassin. That's what the Throne of Glass is about, but in Assassin's Blade you get like the prequel stories about her, things like that, before Throne of Glass begins. And I really enjoyed getting that first because I was able to like read that and then go straight into Throne of Glass, and so the timeline was like the same. A big thing happens in The Assassin's Blade that if you don't read it first, it will be ruined for you in the rest of the series because it's very much talked about. Honestly, a lot of things that happen in The Assassin's Blade are talked about throughout the series. So anyways, and then I read Throne of Glass. Really enjoyed that one. Honestly, I haven't really rated them because I can't decide, but I really enjoyed Throne of Glass. I thought it was really good. And then I read Crown of Midnight. Really enjoyed that one. Honestly, I feel like The Assassin's Blade and Crown of Midnight have been my favorite so far. Lily just sneezed. I really enjoyed them, and even as I'm reading this, I'm like missing Crown of Midnight because just some things happened in Crown of Midnight that I just loved so much. Like I loved that book and I feel like it was just so sweet, or parts of it. Some of it was sad. And then I read Air of Fire, and I feel like Air of Fire was a little bit harder for me to get into because there's new characters introduced, kind of a new plot in a way. Like things are just different in Air of Fire, and so I feel like it was hard to get into it because I was like trying to learn about the situation, but I was used to what happened in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and it kind of shifts once you get to Air of Fire. But then the second half of Air of Fire was so good, and then I picked up Queen of Shadows, and I think this one is so good. Like I feel like from start to, I'm not that finished, but from start to where I am now, it's been like so good. Like I haven't been wanting to put it down because it's so good. I feel like so much has happened, like you're on the edge of your seat, like waiting to find out what happens, because a lot of times I feel like with Sarah J. Maas, usually it's like the last couple hundred pages they get really good, but I feel like this book, the whole time, it's been really good. Like I feel like I've read 400 pages, but it doesn't feel like I've read 400 pages because like so much has happened. And so I'm very excited to see what happens in the next like 200 pages. Those are my thoughts. I am loving all the characters. I'm loving just everything about it, truly. Well, some of it is painful. I feel like there's some painful moments, but I'm excited to see what happens like at the end of the series in this book. I do have to say, I feel like a lot of people say that ACOTAR is like romance with fantasy, and this is fantasy with romance. And I definitely agree because I feel like I was thinking about this a few minutes ago before I started filming. This, I feel like there hasn't been a ton of romance in the past 2 books, like Air of Fire and Queen of Shadows. I feel like there hasn't been a ton of romance. Really, it is plot heavy. Like you're getting the plot. There's like crumbs, I feel like, in these books, honestly. Like so far, like there's been a few like really sweet moments, but for the most part in these 2 books, there have been like romance crumbs or like a slow burn. Like we're building up, but we haven't got there yet. And so I feel like that's kind of been the situation. So if you're wanting a really romance heavy fantasy, like this is not really gonna be it. Well, honestly, I haven't got to the rest of the series, so I don't know, maybe it does get romance heavy as you go on, but as far as I know, it's more fantasy heavy. But honestly, I've been really enjoying it. Like I feel like the plot is so interesting that you just want to keep reading, and it makes me so excited to get to the point when the romance is like really good, like when the slow burn, you know, is done, you know, when you build up to the romance. I don't really know. but the friendships are so good in this book, and I just love it so much. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm so excited to keep reading, so I'll let you know. Updates, obviously this is spoiler free. I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts as I'm reading it without spoilers in case you did want to read the Throne of Glass series. I do think it's so good. Like, personally, I didn't like the ACOTAR series, and I'm loving this. Like, I think this is so much better, and I highly recommend it so far. Like, I feel like definitely by the end it's going to be a favorite series, like fantasy series, because I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like the plot is just so good, and I feel like Sarah J Maas is so intricate with everything that she does, like every like part of the story, because you're getting like different POVs in this. They're all third person point of view, but you're getting tons of POVs and like different scenarios, which I find some parts I don't enjoy as much, but also I know that everything that's happening is like intricately woven together and it's all gonna make sense. Like, even some of the things are starting to make sense, and I'm like, no way that that's happening. So anyways, that's my update. This is a brick, I have to say, but I know Kingdom of Ash is even longer. It's like 1,000 pages. That's what's going on. I have been tabbing them, but I haven't tabbed this one very much because I did read some at work, so I didn't have my tabs, but I haven't had as many moments that I wanted to tab as I did in Airfire, like the end of Airfire, but I'm hoping the second half of this is gonna be so good. I'm so ready. There's one moment that I'm waiting for, and I need to happen because I'm in pain about it. So anyways, that's it. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees.
Hello guys, it is the next day. It is currently Thursday, like 4:30, and I thought I would update you on what I've been reading. I did finish Queen of Shadows last night. I literally sat down at like 5:30 and just binged the rest of the book. So that tells you anything. And it was so good. I gave it 5 stars, probably my favorite in the series. I mean, I haven't given 5 stars in any of the other books, but I have a soft spot for the Assassin's Blade and Crown of Midnight, but I really love this one. I feel like all the way through it was the best one. Like, it was the most action-packed. There was always something going on. The romance was so good. I feel like everything's like intricately woven together, and you really start to see the connections by the end of this book, which I really enjoyed. And I feel like it set up the next books really well. I tabbed it a pretty good bit, and I just really enjoyed it. Like, the friendships in the series, like, it's just so good. Like, I really loved Queen of Shadows. I could see it being one of my favorites in the series. I didn't want to put it down. Like, I really enjoyed it and wanted to keep reading. That's clearly why I finished it so quickly. So, oh, I'm gonna update my reading journal, so I'll show that as well.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spent my coin for sure.
Hello guys, it is now Saturday. I don't remember when I filmed last. I think it was like Thursday. I don't really know, but I've read since I last talked to you, so I want to give you an update. I read like 30 pages of Empire Storms at work on Thursday, and then I didn't read any more of that, but I did read A Little Magic by Lindsay Lanza. This is an arc. It comes out October 3rd, and I just finished it this morning, or lunchtime this afternoon, and it was so good. I loved it so much. I feel like I've had such a good reading month. I feel like every book, well, not every book, but most books that I've read I've really loved, and this one was no exception. I'm trying to decide what to rate it, if I want to rate it a 4.5, a 5. Like, it was that good. Like, I loved it so much. It is very much like a holiday, like wintry vibe, and so it really made me want to read it, like, or wish I was reading it when it was like winter and it was cold outside and we had like a fire and some hot chocolate and it was snowing. Like, that's the vibe this book is giving me. Like, I want to be cozied up with a blanket hot chocolate, my husband, and just have a great winter time reading a cute, cozy winter book. That's what this book gave me. It is set like kind of around Christmas. Well, not kind of. It's set around Christmas and Hanukkah and kind of like that time of year. But I feel like it's not like too Christmassy. It's more kind of like winter vibes because it does take place on like 8 years of Christmas and then also like the days of Hanukkah or something like that. So you're getting like the past timeline and the present timeline because it's a childhood friends to lovers second chance romance with brother's best friend. Literally so good. So you should pre-order it and read it when it comes out because it was so good. I loved it so much. I love the characters, and also the female main character, Ellie, has lupus, so she has an autoimmune disease, and so you get like the representation of that, how she like lives life with that, how it affects her, how it affects people around her, and things like that, which I really like. I feel like her books, this is her second book. I read Speechless by her and loved it, so I knew I was gonna love this one. I just feel like her writing is so good, the chemistry is so good. Like, she's just such a good writer, and I feel like every single book that she writes I will read, and I think it will be so good. Like, I feel like she's gonna be an auto-buy author for me for sure, and every book that she writes I'm gonna love because I can just tell by her writing, and she's just like so good. Like, it's insane to me that she only has 2 books because I feel like she's an incredible writer, and I just love this book so much. And I feel like the male main character, Theo, he is a sweetheart. I loved him so much, and he was just like literally a sweet angel like the whole book, and I loved that. Can't wait for it to come out. I really want a physical copy of it because it was so good. So I read that. Hi guys, it's been a few days since I've updated you, and I thought I would do a little reading update for this vlog. So I read a tiny bit of Empire of Storms, but not enough really to make much. I was on page 35, I think. I'm on page 62 now, so haven't made much progress in that, but I did read a book on my Kindle. I read Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, I think. I have filmed my wrap up and posted it since this vlog. And I talked a lot about this book in that video, but I thought I would tell you my thoughts on this one because I am doing a reading vlog of what I read this week. So really love that book. It was so cute. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was just adorable. I've seen it everywhere recently, and I am so happy that I read it. It was just so cute. I loved everything about it. The male main character was so sweet. There was like a little found family with, they're like friends. Like, there was like a friend group, which is so cute. I love that. And there's also disability representation in this book, which I really enjoyed. I feel like it was done so well, and I love when I get to read about that because I don't like know anything about that. I feel like it's very insightful, and you're able to get different points of view or like different perspectives. There's also an author's note in this book, which I really loved. I actually reread it after I read the book, and I just thought it was really well done. I loved that it was very like personal for her, for the author, and so I just really love that book. It was so cute, so sweet. If you're looking for a book that'll just make you happy, that is the book to do it because it was so good. I felt like there were some moments that were like maybe more emotional, but for the most part it was just really sweet, and I really enjoyed it. I just felt like I was like hanging out with them, which I love when I read a book and I just feel like I'm hanging out with them. It's so fun, and I just don't want it to end. It's just like cozy good times. Like, I just loved it so much. So highly recommend. That was the last book I read in July, and now I am reading another book on my Kindle. This is Sun to Me by Cleopatra Margot, and I actually got an arc of this and I hadn't read it. It came out yesterday. This book came out yesterday, and I got an arc of it and was like slowly kind of reading it over the past few weeks. But I'm such a mood reader that for the most part of July I was reading the Throne of Glass series. So, but I'm finally picking this book up, and I'm so excited. Well, actually I was like 60 pages into it, and then I started reading it again last night, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's just so cute, so sweet. It is closed door. Out on a Limb is not closed door. It's like pretty, well, not pretty spicy. There's a couple spicy scenes, so beware of that. But anyways, this is closed door, and it's just so cute, so sweet. I'm on page 205, so I'm 54% through it. I don't know how many pages there are. 366. So I have like 150-ish pages left. So this is about the female main character is a bookstagrammer. She is also a barista, and then the guy is he works in development, but he's also a contractor, and he's like a grumpy guy, but he's like has a soft spot for the female main character, that kind of vibe, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, the cover is so pretty. It's also a first in a series, so there's like 3 different books that I know of about 3 different brothers. So Graham is the male main character. He has 2 brothers, so the next books will be about him or them. Really enjoying this. It's just so cute. Like, last night I was just like giggling, giddy. And also the author, I'm friends with her, and she sent me the playlist that she made for this book, and so I was listening to it and reading, which was so fun. I love doing that. It's so much fun, especially when the author like makes the playlist when they're writing it, to be able to listen to it while you're reading it. It's such a like great experience. It's like you're like enveloped in the experience, you know what I mean? Anyway, so that's what I'm currently reading. So I thought I would show a little bit of my reading journal because I think I'm going to finish off my July spread and then maybe start an August spread. Kind of feeling that. I love watching a YouTube video and just like sitting here coloring. I'm a child, but basically I have had my reading journal for like a year, and I did a whole video starting it, and then I did a whole video like making it for 2023 if you want to watch those. But I feel like I made it too complicated, not necessarily the spreads for the year, but I made like the monthly spreads too complicated. Like I was literally like made it where I would print the cover of every single book and like put an in-depth review in here. And that's just not realistic. Like I was so behind because I don't have time to sit down and literally read all my thoughts when all my thoughts are in my notes. If I'm gonna look at my thoughts, it's gonna be in there. And it was just taking too long. So I decided for July to change things up. And I did copy this entire thing from Rachel Catherine. So if you wanna do this, I would recommend going to her, one of her vlogs in July. She showed her updating her reading journal and this is what it looked like. And I literally copied the entire thing. So it was just so cute. I feel like it was very like concise and easy. So after I did this month, I was so excited to update my reading journal every time I read a book. Like it was so fun. So anyways, I updated it earlier in this vlog, but this is what it looks like. I basically I colored it. Also, speaking of which, since I colored it, I wanted to show you. I got colors. I got markers. I got the Crayola Super Tips washable markers, and they're so cute. There's so many colors. So anyways, I got those, and I very much colored my reading journal. Anyways, so this side has my like TBR for the month, and then I highlighted the ones that I had read. So a couple of them I didn't, but Son to Me I'm currently reading. Just Friends I started, but I haven't finished. Anyways, and then down here is what I'm gonna update now that the month is over. So it says physical, library, Kindle, romance, fantasy, literary fiction. She had a couple other genres and maybe like audio, but I don't really listen to many audiobooks, so I didn't have that. And I don't really read mystery or thrillers or anything like that, or much nonfiction, so I didn't put that either. But that is that. And then over here I have the list of all the books that I read in July. I have number, title, author, star rating, pages, how many pages there are, and the date that I read the book. And I really love this. And then down here I have some hopefuls for the month. So like as the month's progressing, books that I want to read that aren't on my TBR. And I'm glad that I only did a few books on my TBR because if I did more, I feel like it would get stressful, and it's very satisfying to mark it off. So anyways, on my hopefuls, I have Queen of Shadows and A Little Magic, which I did read both of those, so I'm feeling very good about myself. So yeah, I haven't really wrote many of my star ratings because I never can decide, and I try to think through it before I write it down in my journal. So anyways, I did that, and then I have a bunch of like spreads for the month. This is my like spread for the year, so it is based or color coded by genre. So pink is obviously romance, blue is fantasy, green is fiction, like literary fiction, or just doesn't really have a specific, it's not romance or fantasy, and then yellow is nonfiction. So I've read one of each of those, but anyway, so I have that, and then I have just a bunch of different spreads. Like I have just like a whole reading log of every book that I read this year, and then I have like my physical TBR arcs that I read, things like that. And you can watch a whole video of me doing this. But I pretty much copied Rachel and everything that I did. But anyways, I want to finish my July spread, but then also make an August spread. So I kind of want to pick some colors and like do the same thing that I did for July because I had so much fun with it. So I'm going to update this.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time.
So I've been doing my reading journal, like my spread for August, and it's just so much fun. It's like coloring. I'm literally having a great time watching Destiny's new video, coloring basically. So it's pretty much the same as my July one, it's just different colors. Okay, can you see? So I decided to do purple and green, and I think it looks so cute. I'm a big fan. So over here we have some of my TBR for the month. I have more, but I only put these 3 on here because I feel like these are the ones I'm going to get to. So I have Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and then The Duet by Haley Gardner. I really want to read that. It comes out August 8th. I want to read Kingdom of Ash too, but who knows if that's going to happen. So I didn't put it on there, but hopefully I will. And then it's like the same thing over here. We have like what I'll read this month. We have the physical, ebook, library, romance, fantasy, all that stuff. And then down here I put hopefuls. So I think it looks so cute, so fun. It looks very much like July. It's just green and purple, and it looks so cute. So I'm having such a fun time with my reading journal, and I'm very excited that I like changed it because I feel like I was getting too stressed and not having fun, and this is a good time. Like I had so much fun making this spread. I have read a little bit on my lunch break. I'm on page 250 of Son to Me, so hopefully I'll finish that today. We shall see. So it's the next day and I thought I would share my thoughts on Sent to Me because I finished that last night. Really enjoyed it. It was so cute. At the end, left on a cliffhanger. I'm very intrigued and excited to find out what happens in the next books. There's 2 more after this one. I think hopefully they're gonna come out, or one's gonna come out later this year, beginning of next year, but I'm very excited for that because I need to know what's gonna happen. It was just like a sweet, wholesome rom-com. It is closed doors, so there's no spice, which is great, but I feel like the chemistry was still good. It was very much set in the summer, so if you're looking for a book to read with these last month or 2 of summer, you should definitely read it. It was so cute and highly recommend. It's also on Kindle Unlimited if you want to read it if you have Kindle Unlimited. But I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I love just taking you along for a week of me reading. It's so much fun. But I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon for my next video. Bye.